Hi, Gene Burnett from GeneBurnett.com. I want to talk a little bit today about Tai Chi practice as a sort of amplification or refinement of natural movements. I know that some people don't see it this way, and it's okay with me. I'm not that dogmatic about it. But I just wanted to share my opinion and my practice philosophy. And that is that Tai Chi is not supernatural. It's not a special way of moving that is unique to Tai Chi and involves a special internal arrangement of things to give you special powers. Now, some people see it this way, and I don't. I see it as an amplification of the natural. So it is very natural, for instance, to stand and keep your balance while standing. You lose it, recover it, lose it, recover it in minute little ways. And then when you go into training and Tai Chi training, it's more of a challenge to your balance. So you have to do similar things, but under more pressure. And maybe you do it in pushing hands or somebody pushing on you, and you do it under even more pressure. But the idea is you're using your muscles and your nervous system and your joint arrangements to arrange your body in the most balanced, comfortable, and natural way to move as you can. And you learn to do that under more and more pressure. Fighting and daily life being the ultimate arenas where you're in less and less control of what's going on, and there's more and more pressure on your balance. I met a guy one time. He was this German dude, and he came out here and he had this very special and unusual, unnatural way of moving and holding himself in his body. If he transferred weight, he'd kind of pull with one leg as he pushed with another, and there was a tremendous amount of inner compression and inner pelvic floor tension. And this guy was hard to push. He was very difficult to push. And he told me that he said, my teacher has a push that you cannot withstand this push. From 10 feet away, he could practically put you through a wall. And I was like, well, what's the point of being able to push someone through the wall? And he said, well, you could also use it for healing, And I was like, well, there's a lot of people that are good at healing who can't push someone through a wall. So I don't know the benefit of that necessarily, but the thing that really struck me about him was two things. One thing is he said that if he skipped practicing for a day, he would get nauseous. And the other thing was that he was miserable. He was an unhappy person. His face was really deeply lined. He seemed to have no joy or happiness in his face. It was very drawn and very unhappy looking, like pale, did not look healthy, did not look comfortable at all. So both of those things kind of made me go, is that what I want to do? Is that what I want to do? I think, no, that's not what I want to do. I'd rather go with something natural, go with something that feels in alignment with my nature and the way of nature and the way that my body works and operates, and be happy and healthy, sure, as well as mobile and comfortable, and then do something unnatural. You're cool.
I thought you were talking on the phone.
No, I'm making a video. I'll edit this out.
You can edit it out?
Yeah.
That'd be fun to edit in.
Yeah. Let me just finish it, and then I'll give up the space, and you can do the flute.
I'll sit here.
Oh yeah, but I mean, don't play the flute yet.
I won't.
Okay. All right. Cool. So anyway, this guy who did something unnatural that made him very powerful, very difficult to push, very difficult to deal with. He struck me as so unhealthy and so unhappy that I thought, even if this would improve my ability to push someone through a wall or to be immovable, it didn't. it just struck me as so unnatural that I didn't want to do it. There's all kinds of things you can do that are not natural, in the sense of not being in alignment with the way your body is naturally adapted to move. For instance, throw a curveball. You have to do things to your elbow and wrist, or to throw a ball at 100 miles an hour. People will force the natural, they'll force themselves past the natural range in order to get this short-term window of incredible ability, but they need surgery, but they have physical problems and they're not able to keep throwing. I don't want to make that sacrifice in order to get like a peak short-term ability. I want to be able to throw, metaphorically here, I want to be able to throw when I'm 90. I want to be able to do this as I get older. So I'm 62. I've been teaching, at least in Ashland, I've been teaching for over 20 years, 20 plus hours a week, 50 plus hours a year, non-stop. I've got zero knee problems. I'm way more fit than the average 62-year-old. And so doing it my way has gotten really good results, Whereas people who sometimes advocate these other, ways that involve unnatural ways of moving, or people will tell you, one guy in particular says, you have to forget everything you ever knew, everything about Tai Chi is moving in a completely unnatural and special and different way than you have to reorganize your body completely from head to toe. And it's like, even if this gives you some shorter-term skill, or some skill now, which I don't know for sure that it does, I'm pretty skeptical, but even if it does, the jury's not out. These guys are still relatively young, so I don't know how that's going to hold up over time, and I don't know how that affects their psychology and their ability to be happy or healthy or natural. So that doesn't appeal to me when I hear unnatural, rework, relearn, change everything about the way you move. I'm not crazy about that. I like my method, and it's been doing great for me all these years, and I've seen it in so many people. It's built on the natural way that the body moves and exists. So this is my opinion. You may be on the other side of the fence on this one, and that's okay too. You feel free to share with me what you will, but I recommend going with the natural way that the body moves and is I want to say designed, but really adapted to move. So the knees are aligned a certain way, the hips are aligned a certain way. It's the same way that athletes do. It's the same way that the same things that come into play in a Tai Chi push or strike come into play in throwing a baseball or hitting a golf club or doing any number of things. It's just the way the body moves. Tai Chi just focuses very carefully on the yin and yang balance. It focuses very closely and carefully on being efficient, effective, and injury-free. That's how I see it. Maybe you see Tai Chi as very different from nature, but I don't. I see it as in alignment with nature, in alignment with Taoism and the principles of nature, and that's the way I like to do it. So that's all I have to say about that. Gene Burnett signing off from geneburnett.com is my website if you want to see more about what I do, and or you subscribe to this channel. I do music videos, Tai Chi videos, and a lot of nature videos and some other stabs at humor and other types of stuff as well. So thanks for watching.